Hey guys, welcome back to Off-Brand, the channel dedicated to sharing fashion opinion, emphasis on opinion. So with the Met Gala coming up and everything, I just thought, who would be great to do a style profile of? And the name immediately jumped to me. Rihanna. But today I'm going to be ranking Rihanna's musical / fashion eras. But before we get started, make sure you're subscribed, make sure you have the notifications on so you don't miss any of this great fashion content. I'm going to be ranking it from my least favorite to my absolute favorite. So starting at number 8 is Music of the Sun. Now Music of the Sun wasn't bad, but it was obviously her first ever album, and she was like 15, 16. So fashion wise, it was very much of that time, very early 2000s, crop tops, bedazzled jeans, white bedazzled jeans. Need I say more? So it was kind of boring, but it was obviously very age appropriate. Next up was Girl Like Me. And again, very similar to Music of the Sun. It was really safe, very pop, did still kind of stick to like her Bayesian and Caribbean roots. But yeah, safe and boring, but again, age appropriate. So by default, it has to be low, but it was actually very good for her at the time. The music was popping though. SOS. I don't want to dip. Don't make me sing it, because you know I'm going to sing. Okay, so next up is R-rated. Now, before you guys will start shouting, it was the hair. I was not a fan of like the really shaved hair with like the highlighted updo. It was like my least favorite Rihanna hairstyle of all time. The music, she was in her bag, her Illuminati bag. I really did enjoy that era musically, and I did like the dark urban aesthetic that she had, those like really alternative kind of like dark romantic sort of elements she had with like the black and the leather and the lace. I thought that was nice, but overall aesthetically she missed for me in the hair and styling, although like the actual fashion pieces were nice. And musically it was a banger, but I think there are bigger bangers out there. So number 4 is Good Girl Gone Bad. That asymmetric black bob. Like I loved that hairstyle on her personally. That was the short hairstyle that I feel like really solidified to me that Rihanna was like, she might be onto something with these hairs, with the trend setting now. She might be onto something. And obviously that album was really great. We had Umbrella, Disturbia. I'm so sorry, but I don't think they don't talk enough about how Disturbia has one of the best bridges of all time. Like that bridge with the, don't make me do the harmony, but you know what harmony I'm talking about. Kudos, she was on something. I think it was a natural progression because Good Girl Gone Bad actually comes after Girl Like Me. That is actually the 3rd album. And I think that was a natural progression into more of like the sexier, edgier vibe. And I think she transitioned really well. Next up is Talk That Talk. Now I feel like Talk That Talk as an overall soundtrack as an overall album is somewhat underrated. I think everyone hangs on to that one song, which we will get to, but You the One, that to me, it is beautiful to me. Like, she is very gorgeous to me. It is a really great song. But We Found Love had the Tumblr girls in tatters. The entire song and aesthetic, it solidified Rihanna as the trendsetter, as the pop girl to follow, because those GIFs, those screenshots, I could not run away from them. Like the entirety of Twitter and Tumblr was shattered after that video dropped. Like the ultimate trendsetter. And I did enjoy the honey blonde on her. I enjoyed it longer. That's the note. And I liked how she was starting to go back to more of a natural sort of look, because this was after Rated R. It took a less costumey route than R-rated, which I enjoyed. So next up is Loud. Now personally, I think I have to give it to Loud and put it up this high, just because the cultural impact was far too great for me to make this lower. In my opinion, was this the best Rihanna looked aesthetically for it to be so high up, to be top 3? Personally, no. But that red hair was so it had the chokehold it had on the community. It was too great for me not to put it up as like one of the greatest fashion eras and musical eras that Rihanna had. I mean, those songs were great songs. Every song was an elite pop banger. Who's that chick? What's my name? Like, there are too many culturally significant things on that album for me not to give it its props. And I do think that red hair looked great on her. And I did think we did see some great looks in that era altogether. I think some of her Met Gala looks during that era were quite nice. At number 2 is Unapologetic. Let's talk about the music of the album first. Let's talk about the music. This had some good bangers on it. Pour It Up, it had some great bangers on it. But I do think this era was where Rihanna solidified herself as a fashion icon. Like you have to understand, a lot of the most iconic Rihanna looks stemmed from this album. Like were made and done during this album's like run. That CFDA look where she's wearing that crystallized dress. Hello, is anyone listening? Like still one of the most iconic, not even Rihanna fashion like moments, one of the most iconic fashion moments of our time. Her performance at the Victoria's Secret show, where she wore that stunning corset black gown with the pearls and the matching pearl sunglasses. Those looks are some of the most iconic Rihanna looks and are still impacting fashion till today. Like, she stole the show at a fashion show. This era really solidified that like Rihanna was a fashion icon as well as a music icon. Okay, and obviously the best Rihanna era to me is Auntie. I think Auntie, the album, was a masterpiece. It was robbed at the Grammys, absolutely robbed. It is a masterpiece from beginning to end. Every song, including the deluxe, is a banger. Every song, from Consideration all the way to Goodnight Gotham, all the way to Sex With Me, from beginning to end, masterpiece, great. I also think she came into her own in terms of her fashion. I mean, she did that in her other eras as well, but this particularly, especially it being kind of like her latest album, so we haven't received anything since. It's just so good. Every look was great, and this was also where she had the Vanguard Award at the I think it was the VMAs, at the VMAs, and she had that performance that we're all still not over, that we all still can't watch on Twitter because it keeps getting copyrighted. The looks in those performances were so good, particularly where she's performing Rude Boy / Work. That entire set was amazing. The do-rag, the fluffy bra, the cargos, it was just amazing. And I think this Auntie era also includes all she's done with like Fenty and Savage Times Fenty. So I feel like it is definitely her most fashionable era yet. I think it's really clear that Rihanna is one of, if not the most influential pop star of our time. It's safe to say. I think not just musically, but fashion wise, I think she's very unique. She has a very natural progression in her eras as well. It doesn't feel like, obviously we're all very aware she has a great team that styles her and helps her, but it does seem very authentic. It does seem like she does have a very good say in what's happening, and it shows in the natural progression of her fashion to where it is now. And she's very unique. She has had many elements in her fashion, many inspirations in her fashion, and she's really not afraid to try new things and set new trends, and that's what I really enjoy about Rihanna. Can't wait to see what she wears at the Met Gala. That's why I had to do it today. We are only, just over 30 days? Yeah, we're like a good 40 days till the Met Gala. She's definitely someone who comes to mind, so that's why I wanted to do the video. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you press that like button below and comment below if there are any more celebrities you'd love to see me do a deep dive of, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.